Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
And two weather makers headed our way. First, rain today. I'll show you when to expect it, and then I'll show you when we may see highs in the 80s again.
An interchange upgrade. Airport Boulevard at I-40 reopened about an hour ago. The safety changes made to this high-traffic road.
Taking on the tournament, UNC and NC State's women's basketball teams have NCAA tournament games today. The matchups we are looking ahead to this morning could be a clash battle of the blues on the women's basketball court. We're looking forward to it as we are our Monday with you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. After glorious weather this past weekend, Monday, we're getting some showers. We do need the rain. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking the system that will bring us this rain later today.
We've seen some severe storms along this way to the south, through the deep south, but nothing that's closer to us, say Georgia and Tennessee. No severe weather. We're not expecting any severe storms here, but it will interrupt your day right around lunchtime. The commute this morning will be dry, but don't leave your umbrella in the back seat like sometimes I do. You're going to need it around lunchtime if you're going to be out and about, and then we taper off just to maybe an isolated lingering shower later in the day. It's cloudy this morning. It is warm, 60 degrees. We have a strong southwest wind at 14, and we'll see some gusts up to around 25 later on today. Our high close to 70 degrees. Once all this moves out, we're going to see a little weather whiplash with lows in the 30s and then some highs in the 80s. I'll walk you through it. Coming up, Chris.
And Elizabeth, thankfully, the rain holding off for the peak hours of the Monday morning commute. We'll give you a live look here at I-40 Rock Quarry Road. And again, everything flowing pretty smoothly there as we get into the eastern and southern part of Wake County. We'll broaden out the view a little bit here and show you some of the current I-40 delays. And good news, there are none. North Carolina 42 to the Beltline there and along US 1 Wade Avenue to I-540. So far, we're smooth sailing. If that changes, we'll let you know first on the radio 101.5 HD3 anywhere in the Triangle.
Chris, thank you. This morning, a new traffic pattern is in place on Airport Boulevard on I-40. It is now a diverging diamond, which sends cars driving on the left side of the road. And the idea is to help traffic flow more smoothly through the busy interchange. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Airport Boulevard this morning. And Kelsey, this is something drivers will have to get used to now, but this is all about improving safety.
Yes, Renee, starting today, folks may notice a change in their morning commute here on Airport Boulevard. Now, the road reopened about an hour ago after crews wrapped up their work over the weekend. This Sky 5 video shows you where the new diverging diamond is located. NCDOT closed the Airport Boulevard Bridge over I-40 to complete the finishing touches. The diverging diamond will keep traffic flowing for drivers who are entering and exiting the interstate, and it will eliminate the need for a left turn against oncoming traffic. It's designed to speed up traffic flow and reduce the chance for crashes. So we'll be sure to keep you updated on the progress of this new traffic pattern throughout the morning. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
Police in Raleigh have not yet made an arrest after a shooting on New Bern Avenue. Officers responded to the call about those gunshots around 10:30 yesterday morning on New Bern Avenue at North Rogers Lane. They found a person who had been shot. That person was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The investigation blocked the road for hours.
Over here, drinking a cup of coffee, I heard like 3 gunshots, and next thing I know, I didn't hear no sirens or anything, but I went to go pull out and can't get anywhere.
Police have not identified the person who was shot.
We are working to learn more about the victims of 2 bad crashes in Granville County. One of them was a head-on collision at Bruce Garner Road and Hillside Drive. Both cars had only a driver, no passengers. One of those drivers was flown by helicopter to the hospital. The other was rushed to another hospital by ambulance, and both of them had critical injuries. We're working to learn their names.
And Renee, the other crash involved a person on a motorcycle at Oak Hill Road and Highway 56. The WRAL breaking news tracker arrived on that scene to find a badly damaged motorcycle. The fire chief tells us the rider had to be flown to the hospital and is critically injured. No other information has been released.
Authorities in eastern North Carolina say a man crashed after shooting at Amazon delivery vans. The Lenore County Sheriff's Office says Lenneal Mason shot at 3 Amazon delivery vans yesterday morning. They say he crashed into 3 vehicles about 15 minutes later. Deputies say Mason is in critical condition. He faces a list of charges.
Today, UNC and NC State's women's basketball teams will be trying to reach the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from Reynolds Coliseum at NC State. And Laura, both of these teams will be on their home courts for this round of action.
It's really an exciting time here in the Triangle because fans won't have to travel far to see this game play out. Number 2 seed NC State will take on number 7 Michigan State here at Reynolds Coliseum behind me later today. That game tips off at noon, beginning the second round of NCAA tournament play. Now, NC State is undefeated at home this season. Meanwhile, Michigan State is 5-5 on the road. This comes after NC State crushed Vermont over the weekend, 75-55. Now, over to UNC women's team. The 3rd-seeded Tar Heels are set to square off with number 6 seed West Virginia in the second round of NCAA play. The game begins at 7 p.m. and that one is taking place at Carmichael Arena in Chapel Hill. A spot in the Sweet 16 is on the line for these two teams. For UNC, it would be their first trip past the first weekend of the tournament since 2022. And the winner of this game will take on Duke this Friday in Birmingham, Alabama. Laura Levine, WRAL News. We're live in Raleigh.
Check out this heart-stopping finish to an NCAA tournament game. Maryland's Derek Queen hit a shot as time expired to give the Terrapins a 1-point win over Colorado State. His teammates piled onto him in celebration. Fans went crazy. It is the first time in 2 years a player has made a game-winning shot with no time on the clock in a tournament game. Thrilling.
It was. And tomorrow, NC State will officially introduce Will Wade as the Wolfpack's next men's basketball coach. Wade is coming from McNeese State. He led the Cowboys to the NCAA tournament in each of the last 2 seasons, and they beat Clemson, the big upset in the first round this year before losing to Purdue Saturday. He also coached at Chattanooga, VCU, and LSU. Wade signed a 6-year deal with NC State, pending approval by the Board of Trustees. He'll be introduced at Reynolds Coliseum at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Today, the Wake County Board of Commissioners Education Committee meets. They'll get an update on the funding that's needed for the county's Smart Start program. They'll also discuss the status of the Child Nutrition Services program. The meeting gets started at 2 this afternoon.
A lane of I-85 will be closed for about 6 hours today for work to repair potholes. Crews will be working in the right lane of I-85 south between the Gate 1 Road and Redwood Road exits. This will be from 9 to 3 today. It includes over the Falls Lake Bridge as well. Drivers should allow for some extra time and use caution when driving through that work zone.
Tonight, Wake County Exchange Clubs are hosting an annual law enforcement event. It's happening at 6:30 at Cary Presbyterian Church. Officers from 12 Wake County police departments will be honored.
Gaza's health ministry says Israel struck the largest hospital in southern Gaza. A senior Hamas official was killed in that attack. Ishmael Barhum was undergoing treatment at the hospital. Israeli defense officials confirmed the IDF successfully eliminated Barhum, as they say, and who had been described as the new Hamas prime minister in Gaza. That strike set off a large fire in the hospital's surgical building.
Pope Francis is waking up in the Vatican this morning for the first time in 5 weeks. The Holy Father was released from the hospital yesterday. You can see Pope Francis here on the balcony waving to the crowd below. The 88-year-old pontiff will still need time to recover from his respiratory infection and double pneumonia. In a prayer released yesterday, the Pope says, "In this long time of hospitalization, I have been able to experience the Lord's patience."
The postal protests. United States Postal Service employees gathered in opposition to President Trump's policy. Their concerns over privatizing the service.
And a Tesla vandalized. A Garner man says his car was targeted. Why? This is one of many similar incidents on Tesla cars.
And it's not a total washout, but keep the umbrellas handy today. We have a good chance of rain midday. I'll walk you through the timeline on Futurecast.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:11, our next weather maker right here, bringing some severe storms currently to Houston. At least there's some warnings there. And there have been a lot of warnings along the southern end of this front, but none near us. I don't think we'll see any severe storms here, but we will start to see some rain, not necessarily for the bulk of the morning commute, but as early as around 9 or 10 in our western counties. And then right through the middle of the day will be our best chance. And then it tapers off just to a chance of an isolated shower or storm later in the afternoon. The evening commute should be pretty dry. Right now, we do have the top of the tower lit in green because we do have rain in the forecast for today. And town by town, temperatures are in the 50s. 52 Lewisburg, 53 in Irwin, 56 degrees in Fayetteville. Your commute planner again looks a bit wet around lunchtime. We'll see a high near 70. Chris?
And Elizabeth, new this morning in the WRAL traffic center, got a crash on I-440. This is going eastbound right by Glenwood Avenue. It's being called a serious crash. Authorities reporting that there are injuries involved. I'll give you a live look at it. You can see the emergency crews there on the right lane. And so some lanes are getting by. They're doing so slowly. There is a little bit of a slowdown showing up on the traffic sensors. We'll keep a close eye on it, make some calls, see if we can find out more information. I think another alternate route that you can take is maybe taking the exit toward either Ridge Road or Lake Boone Trail to get around this. We'll keep an eye on it. Have another report coming up in a few minutes.
Chris, thanks. The Justice Department filed new accusations against Mahmoud Khalil. They say Khalil engaged in immigration fraud. Khalil is the Columbia University graduate student who was arrested by immigration officials for his role in leading pro-Palestinian protests on campus. The DOJ says he failed to disclose details about his background during his green card application process. Khalil is a permanent legal resident who is married to a U.S. citizen.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has called for a snap election. He says it is largely due to the trade war with the United States.
We are facing the most significant crisis of our lifetimes because of President Trump's unjustified trade actions and his threats to our sovereignty.
Carney captured the Liberal leadership earlier this month after Justin Trudeau stepped down. By persuading party members, he was the best person to tackle Trump. Now he's calling an election for April 28th instead of October 20th. Canada's major parties will now begin campaigning as Carney will go head-to-head with candidates from the Conservative Party and the New Democratic Party.
Letter carriers in the Triangle and nationwide are rallying in support of the Postal Service. President Donald Trump has suggested on several occasions he wants to privatize the U.S. Postal Service. Postal workers gathered on New Bern Avenue yesterday to protest dismantling the nearly 250-year-old public institution.
They just want to serve anybody that may make a profit for them. And we're saying that we deliver to every house, every day, no matter race, color, creed, no matter how much you make. That is what we stand for.
The Board of Governors of the U.S. Postal Service has retained outside counsel against any potential executive order that would target the U.S. Postal Service.
A Garner man says a vandal targeted his Tesla. The man did not want to go on camera. He says someone etched the word Nazi on his car. It is believed these attacks nationwide are linked to Tesla founder Elon Musk's role in recent cuts to federal government programs. Jeremy, he says he purchased the vehicle long before any controversy surrounding Musk.
So this was definitely back in the time when Elon was just some guy tweeting about, rocket motors and fast cars, and wasn't problematic at that time.
As of now, no arrests have been made in connection to the damage to his car.
Second Lady Usha Vance is heading to Greenland this week. The White House says the trip is intended to celebrate Greenland's culture. Vance will watch the country's national dog sled race. Before and after taking office, President Trump expressed interest in taking the island by force or economic coercion, most recently during remarks to the joint session of Congress.
Today's the deadline for Cumberland County property owners to appeal their property tax revaluations. The tax appraised value of real estate in Cumberland County went up nearly 65% on average between 2017 and 2025.
This week, you have more chances to learn about property reappraisal in Durham. The city will hold an information session from noon to 4:30 today at North Regional Library. Another is scheduled for tomorrow from 10 to 3 at East Regional Library. Sessions will also be held Wednesday and Thursday at Admin Building 2, as well as Friday at South Regional Library.
Here's what you call some pretty impressive hail from a storm through Kerrville, Texas. Take a look at this. This is near San Antonio, Texas. Some of the pieces were golf ball sized or larger. A woman took this video of the hail coming down on her roof. You can see it bouncing off the roof, bouncing off the ground as it hit her backyard. Quite a scene. We have had our winter scenes come and go here in the Raleigh area. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. Boy, we had a great weekend. No signs of any of that, but a little rain coming through today.
Yeah, that's right. We're watching that same front that brought that hail down to Texas. It's producing some severe storms right now down in Houston. We'll take a look at that in a second. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, and Chapel Hill, though, all quiet. It is not going to be wet for the morning commute, at least not until around, say, 8:30 or 9 o'clock in our western counties. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. Let's take a look at where that front is right now. And you can see down here in Houston, those yellow boxes, that's where we have severe thunderstorm warnings happening. And overnight last night, there were more severe thunderstorm warnings and even a few isolated tornado warnings well to our south. None of that close to us. We didn't see any of that popping up last night around Tennessee or Georgia. And so we're not expecting any severe storms here. I saw a few stars peeking out when I came in early this morning, but the clouds will be thickening up. At 8 o'clock, we're starting to see that line approach us. And then by 9 to 10, it's beginning to kind of creep into the viewing area. Right around lunchtime, it moves through, say, Raleigh, South Hill, all the way through Southern Pines and Fayetteville. And then around 1 to 2, it starts to move out of the viewing area. There could still be a lingering shower or thunderstorm even behind that initial line, so we'll be watching out for that. 80% chance for rain. Not a total washout. It's not going to rain all day, but you want the umbrella handy right around lunchtime if you have to be out and about. How much rainfall? It's not going to be a lot. Looking at really an average of around 1/10 of an inch. We could definitely use more than that. We still have abnormally dry to moderate drought conditions across parts of the viewing area, but this is certainly not going to solve that. What it may feel, though, is just a bit inconvenient if you're headed over to Reynolds Coliseum to catch the NC State women's game. 63 degrees with some scattered light rain, and then the Carolina game, 7 o'clock, it will be dry by then. So it's just going to be right around the middle of the day that we'll end up with the rain showers. After that, temperatures slowly start to drop. Thursday morning, our temperatures will be in the 30s, but then we climb into the 80s on Saturday and Sunday. We'll talk more about that. A big weather whiplash coming up. Chris?
And Elizabeth, this morning coming up on 620, and we've got this crash I-440 being reported now as westbound right around Ridge Road and Glenwood Avenue. You can see the backups there in the red on the traffic sensors. Again, going westbound. An alternate route for you would be to take the exit towards Six Forks. Here's a live look at I-440 at Glenwood Avenue. You can see the backups that's causing. It does look as though 1 or 2 lanes getting through, but the rightmost lanes are being blocked for the time being. We'll keep a close eye on that as we get closer to the peak hours of the morning commute. Elsewhere in the Triangle, no major delays heading into the capital city. We'll let you know if that changes while you're on the go on 101.5 HD3 anywhere in the Triangle.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, at least 4 people have died and 6 are hurt from wildfires in South Korea. Take a look at this video here. Fires wiped out about 16,000 acres so far of forest. Over 9,000 staff members and 105 helicopters were deployed to help put out these fires. They are engulfing areas mostly in the southeast part of the country, damaging residential buildings and a temple. More than 1,500 residents have had to take shelter because of these wildfires that are burning right now.
620 now, a celebrity sighting in Raleigh. Bill Murray made a visit to the Lenovo Center. What the president of the Canes did for their special guest.
Plus, do not attempt. Magician and daredevil David Blaine's new project is streaming today. The death-defying stunts Blaine takes on in his new show.
And ahead on today, an exclusive interview with New York Mets outfielder Juan Soto. What he has to say about his record-breaking MLB contract.
And take a look at your winning NC Education lottery numbers on your screen right now. We're back with what's trending after this.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A magician known for his dangerous stunts is debuting a new TV show.
Plus, a celebrity spotted at the Lenovo Center. Time for a look at what's trending. First up, actor Bill Murray was in the crowd to cheer on the UConn Huskies during the NCAA tournament at Lenovo Center. Hurricanes holding president Doug Worf presented Murray with a personalized Canes jersey. Worf says Murray wished the Canes the best in the playoffs, making him an honorary Caniac. But some people might not know, Bill Murray, a big UConn fan.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, you don't want to waste any time in marketing energy. You don't want to waste that opportunity. So give him the Canes jersey, bring him back another time for a Canes game. But yeah, Renee, his son, Luke, is an assistant coach for UConn. So you've got to back the Huskies, right?
Yeah, and that's why he was in Raleigh.
Also today, the first episode of David Blaine's new show will be released for streaming. It is called Do Not Attempt, in reference to his dangerous stunts. The magician will travel the world learning from performers like him in several different cultures.
So get this, the show will include Blaine setting himself on fire, kissing a cobra, sticking a 6-inch knife up his nose, just things that Jeff Hogan does in his downtime.
That's a weekend.
Yeah, he's known for other stunts like freezing himself in a block of ice, standing on a 90-foot pole in Manhattan for 35 days, just chill stuff.
That's next weekend.
It's streaming on Hulu and Disney+.
Well, tonight, Wake County Deputy Robert Hunter will make another appearance on NBC's The Voice.
You can tell your old man you do some largemouth fishing.
Out of my way. Out of my way.
You just got too much on the plate to be past the line.
Oh, Robert Hunter is a member of Kelsey Ballerini's team. She said, out of my way. You can see how fast she turned her chair when he started singing in his first appearance on the show. He'll try to get past the show's battle rounds tonight, and you can catch him on The Voice tonight at 8 on WRAL.
Snow White is at the top of the box office, but it wasn't exactly a fairy tale debut. The live-action remake brought in about $43 million in its opening weekend. Early industry estimates predicted an opening of more than $50 million. By the way, it cost Disney more than $250 million to make that production.
We have rain in the forecast right around the middle of the day. We're looking at moderate showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. It won't affect the morning commute, but I'll show you what time the rain will arrive where you are.
3 people are dead in 2 separate crashes just minutes apart on Gorman Street. What we are asking police about the deadly collisions this morning.
And Carolina wildfires. Crews in the mountains are working to contain thousands of acres of fire. The area seeing the worst destruction so far.